Hello, today we are going to explain Unit 9, which speaks about an adult healthy diet and the food portion model. We'll start defining what's a balanced diet. The diet is a sum of the food consumed by a person. It is a usual pattern of a community eating habits. The main characteristics of a healthy diet will be the adequacy, adequacy, balance, moderation, and variety. What does this mean? Adequacy means that the diet is adequate for that specific person. For example, a pregnant woman will need an adequate diet for her. Balanced mean what we have seen in Unit 8, that the calories we consume are the same as the calories we need. Moderation means not to eat too much, and variety means to include food from all the food groups. Okay, for example, if we eat fruits, not always the same fruit. Okay, we have to vary because each fruit has different vitamins. A balanced diet should contain all the elements that the body needs to grow, repair tissues, produce energy, and regulate the body functions. Also, a balanced diet must be free from any harmful element. It must be accepted by the people to whom it is addressed, with the ingredients, preparation, appearance, flavor, and texture. For example, if someone doesn't like a specific ingredient, we will not tell them to eat it. Okay? And a balanced diet must fit into the consumer's cultural pattern. If in their culture they cannot consume a specific ingredient, we will not include it. Last of all, a balanced diet should be accessible to the consumer's economy and should consider the variety of foods available. Okay, so a varied diet is a balanced diet. Making sure we eat foods from all the groups, we will achieve a balanced diet. The daily caloric value of a balanced diet should be approximately equal to the individual's energetic expenditure. Okay, if a person eats 2,600 kilocalories, we will proportion with the diet the same amount of calories. Okay, if someone eats 2,000 kilocalories, we will recommend a 2,000 kilocalorie diet. Okay, the calories provided by the macronutrients should follow these standard criteria. A 55-60% should come from carbohydrates, a 30% from lipids, and a 10-12% from proteins. Furthermore, carbohydrates should be consumed in different meals during the day. Okay, breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, and dinner. Okay, we should consume different amounts of carbohydrates per day. Protein should be consumed in an optimal quantity to compensate the nitrogen losses, and this we achieve it with a 0.75 grams per kilos per day. The food choice should be the right to get the minerals and vitamins. Cholesterol intake should be reduced. Enough fiber has to be consumed, from 30 to 50 grams per day. And remember from Unit 2, 50% should be soluble fiber and the other half should be insoluble fiber. The diet should be as simple as possible. If you recommend a very difficult diet, it's very difficult to accomplish for your patients. And very important, nutritional education. More than giving them a paper with a diet, you will have to teach your patients, okay, the importance of dietary guidelines, to explain the reasons of why you tell them your food choices. There are different nutritional laws. The quantity law, the amount of food eaten must be sufficient to cover the body's caloric needs. The quality law, the diet must be complete in its composition to provide the body with all the substances it needs. The harmony law, the diet must provide the essential elements required in specific amounts. And the adaptation law, the diet should be adapted to the different circumstances of the subject, health or disease, or special physiological situations. The daily intake, as we have seen in previous units, should be at 55-60% of the calories should come from carbohydrates, at 10-15% from proteins. That this more or less is the 0.75 grams of proteins per kilo of weight, if you want to calculate it for yourselves. Okay, this will be more or less the same values. Fat should be less than 30, divided polyunsaturated 5-8%, saturated less than 10, and cholesterol less than 300 milligrams per day. Sodium should be less than 3 grams per day, especially important for people with high blood pressure, and fiber around 30 to 50 grams per day. Okay, more or less with this, the daily caloric value will be found between these values, between more or less 2000 and 3000 kilocalories per day. Okay. Now let's see. The foods have to be distributed in meals during the day. Okay. Normally, our food pattern here in Spain would be 5 meals per day. Okay. We have the breakfast, the snack, 4-5 meals per day. Okay. And we have to try that these calories are taken especially during the 2/3 parts of the day. Okay. Now, here comes what we need to do for the practical lesson we'll have during the next class. I'm going to teach you how to do a quantitative balance and a qualitative balance. Okay, these two concepts are different between them. Okay, there are two ways of assessing, of valorating a diet. Okay, and I'm going to show you both of them, so pay special attention. We are going to start with the quantitative balance. Quantitative balance will speak about calories. We are going to sum up calories. Okay, we are going to count the calories, while qualitative balance, we are going to speak about portions, and I'm going to tell you the portions of each type of foods you need to eat. Okay, and this will be the qualitative balance. So let's start with the quantitative balance. First of all, I'm going to show you what's a table of food composition. Here you have an example of a table of food composition, okay, where we have a column with different foods, okay, and later we have the next columns which tell us the energy it has, the proteins, carbohydrates, fiber, fats, okay, they can even tell us the vitamins they have, the minerals they have. Okay, they give us a lot of information. The tables of food composition, what you have to have very clear in order to use them is that they give us the nutrient content per 100 grams of product. Okay, always all the tables of food composition give us the energy it has per 100 grams of product, the proteins it has per 100 grams of product. Okay, but if I only consume 40 grams of bread, how many calories will that be? So if 100 grams of bread have X calories, 40 grams of bread will have white calories. Okay, this will be the value in the table of food composition, and this will be the value that we will calculate to know how much calories I have eaten. Okay, the value of the energy is either in kilocalories or kilojoules. They include proteins, fat, carbohydrates, vitamins, cholesterol, fatty acids, and mean values of, they include the mean values of each food. Okay, raw and including the inedible part as well. So in the next class we will count all the calories you have eaten in a day, like this, using tables of food composition, okay, and using the amounts you have eaten, okay, and later you will sum up all the energy you have eaten per a day. This is regarding the quantitative balance. So now let's change to the qualitative balance, which is different. Okay, it's a different way of assessing diets. In the qualitative balance, we speak about portions. Portion control is understanding how much is a serving size of food, how many calories or how much food contains energy in a serving portion. Portion control is important for body weight management, as the weight is defined by the total calorie intake. So, in order to do a qualitative balance, you have to study all these dairy consumption, all these portions we need, okay? For example, we need bread, cereals, potatoes, we need 4-6 portions per day. Fruits, we need 3 or more per day. Vegetables, we need more than 2 per day. Olive oil, 3-6 portions per day. Milk, dairy products, 2-4 per day. Okay, do you intake 3 portions of dairy products per day? Dried fruits, 3-7 per day. Remember, the portion of dried fruits was a handful. Legumes, 2-4 per week. Okay. In the previous food stuff, it was also per week. So, legumes 2-4 per week. Eggs 3-4 per week. Meat 3-4 per week, and fish 3-4 per week. Okay. Knowing these values, we can elaborate a diet for any healthy adult. Okay. If you include all this in the diet, okay, it will be a healthy diet. Okay, it's easy. You can try to play a game to make a diet for a week, trying to include all these portions, and you will see how its calculations are very strict and you will get a very healthy diet using these values. Okay, and in case you want to know the size of a portion, okay, here you have what a portion includes. In the case of potatoes, rice, bread, okay, it will be 60-80 grams of pasta, 50-60 grams of bread, and a big potato, around 150-200 grams of potatoes. Vegetables, normally the size of a portion will be 150-200. A fruit, a normal orange will be nearly 200 grams. Okay, I also want you to know these values. Olive oil, if we need it 3-6 per day, it means a spoon, 3-6 spoons. Okay, a spoon has 10 milliliters, so we need per day around 3-6 spoons. Milk, we need 2-4 per day, and we can get this with a glass of milk of 200-250 milliliters. 2 yogurts, because remember a yogurt has 125 grams, so we need 2 yogurts to get 1 portion of dairy product. 40-60 grams of cured cheese, or 80-125 grams of fresh cheese. Fishes 125-150. Meats and eggs 100-125, or an egg. Legumes 60-80 grams per person. Dried fruits 20-30 grams. Okay, so for the qualitative balance, if I tell you assess me your diet qualitatively, you will have to learn these values and tell me if you have eaten that day the portions of dairies, the olive oil, the vegetables, the fruits, and the cereals. Okay, the other food stuff, how it speaks per week, it's difficult to assess in a day. Okay, but if I tell you to assess the diet of a single day, you have to keep in mind these recommendations per day. Okay, and here you have the amounts of the portions. More or less, the qualitative balance helps you achieve the pyramid of the healthy diet we have here in Spain. And to finish with this first part of the unit, I have put you a menu model for a healthy adult, okay, in order for you to see how we can include all the food stuff we have said, all the portions that they have advised, okay. However, your menu model can be very different to this one, okay. This is just an example, it doesn't have to be this one, but a breakfast would include milk or coffee, tea infusion, a fruit and bread with a little bit of protein, butter and jam, olive oil. Later in the lunch we can include rice, pasta, legumes or potatoes, okay, in the cereal group, plus vegetables, okay, we have here the vegetables. You can include a half a portion of meat or fish, a fruit, a dairy dessert, okay. You can include another cereal, bread, in order to achieve the 4-6 cereals we need per day. The afternoon snack can be similar to the breakfast, and then the dinner we can include a soup, potatoes, vegetables, fish, eggs, vegetable garnish, or green salad, okay, whatever you prefer, or fresh fruit, or a dairy dessert and a bread, okay. And with this we will achieve the recommendations of the qualitative balance, okay. But please, if you have time, I would like you to try to make a menu, a diet, okay, including all these portions, okay. Not the one I have put to you, but your own diet, okay. Try to advise yourself a healthy diet using these recommendations we have, okay. So please have a look, if you need, again, to the difference between the quantitative balance and the qualitative balance, because this is what we will speak about in the next class, okay. I remind you again, quantitative balance, we use tables of food composition in order to calculate the calories, and the qualitative balance, we use the daily portions that they recommend us to assess diets, okay. So next class we are going to put this into the practice, okay. So see you then, bye.